Okay, today is Monday, October 3rd. Is it the 3rd?
3rd, yep.
Alright, I got my friend Roger with me. Say hi, Roger.
Hi, how you doing?
Okay. And we're doing a an audio interview for Evangelism Explosion for Professor Alada's class. And let me just jump right in, man.
Okay.
So, first question for our interview together is, do you know for sure that you're going to be with God in heaven one day?
Well, after you die, your soul has to go somewhere. So I believe there is some type of other place that you would go other than people think that. So, yeah, I believe there's somewhere other than here that you would go. So.
Okay. Do you believe where you would go is to be with God in heaven?
I believe there's somewhere else that I'm more purpose for to go. So somebody else is waiting for me on the other end. So yeah, to go to heaven. Yeah, I believe that somebody's waiting for me. So with all the good deeds that I've done and.
Okay. So you think you're going to be going to heaven?
Yeah. So.
All right. Okay, so that brings us to the second question.
Okay.
And you mentioned a little bit of it. If God were to ask you why He should let you into heaven, what would you say?
I'd let Him know that all the people that I've helped, that I was able to help, that I played it forward. So God accepts forgiveness and all that. I've asked for His forgiveness multiple times. I'm not a good person, like everyone else is probably, but I think I've gone to make Him trust me to come in to the pearl gates and all that. So, but
all right.
Yeah, so yeah.
All right. So that's a interesting and great answer. So you do believe that God exists. You believe that heaven exists.
Yes. All right, so I'm not that much religious, but yeah, I believe there's someone or something that's at the end of the light that's waiting for us. So it could be another life or something else. We'll find out when we get there.
So I did an interview. One of these interviews, I got to do 3. All right, you're number 2.
Okay.
And the first interview I did was with my friend named Chris, and I told him about this video that I watched, and it was basically a guy saying, you know, if Christians really believe what they say they believe, then they should be telling a lot more people about Jesus, because the Bible, as much as it talks about God and as much as it talks about heaven, it talks about hell.
Yeah.
And so the idea that there's the idea that Christians believe in hell, and so I'm just shooting straight with you, man. Like, I believe that people who don't know Jesus are going to hell, and so that seems like such a hard thing to say.
Yeah.
But one of the things that is encouraging is that telling you about Jesus can get you out of there. And one of the interesting things I heard you say was that you know that you've done wrong things to people.
Yeah.
And that's the Bible totally agrees with, or you agree with the Bible, right? And so the Bible also says that that what we earn because of the wrong things we do is death. And so the only way out of that death that we've earned is to believe that Jesus died in our place. So, like, God looks at you and says, all the things you've done are too heavy for all the good you've done. Okay? But Jesus says, instead of paying you what you deserve for those bad things, I'll take that punishment. And so Jesus, right, and I'm sure you've heard and seen, like, you know, He died on the cross, you know, nails in the hands. And so God treated Jesus like He was you. And He killed Him. And then He treats you like you were Jesus, who lived perfectly and only did good and always did right.
Okay.
And so there's a trade when you trust that Jesus died on the cross and you get all of his righteousness, and he takes all of your sin from you.
Yeah.
And that's the gospel, and that's awesome. And that's what saves people from that forever hell kind of place and brings you to a forever heaven hanging out with God kind of place.
Okay.
So.
Well, my scenario is with that. I don't believe you have to believe in him.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to accept him as a person. That you have to believe in him and stuff like that. But with that, if you accept him, like he says, he'll do good with you as long as you believe that what he is saying is true coming in. So, I'm not really a Christian, so I'm a Catholic, so I believe that as long as you forgive and do right by God, you're automatically going to go to heaven, even though that you've done wrong things. But if you considered yourself that he that he helped you and that you go in and pray for your sins and stuff like that and ask for forgiveness, I believe that he goes as long as you know that he's there for you, that you're going to be accepted.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's a whole bunch of things that they say that you can't go to the pearl gates or go through heaven because, like, I got tattoos and stuff. They say you're not supposed to have anything on your skin. I don't believe that. As long as I accept him in with me, it doesn't matter what I have on my skin, even though that he says that. That's just me. So.
Well, okay, so that's interesting. Okay, so Catholics have a just a little twist on the gospel, which is you gotta also do good.
Exactly, that's what you do good things to people and they
okay,
return,
so if you're talking about Catholic religion and Christian religion, they're all based off of the Bible.
Yeah.
And would you agree that some people read the Bible and get the wrong message out of it?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what about the guys who read the Bible and say you should, like, protest soldiers' funerals and do, like,
I don't believe in any type of
burning
protesting.
Korans and walking around with signs that say, like, God hates fags and stuff like that. All right, so they're reading the Bible, and they're interpreting something wrong.
Yeah, I don't.
So the Bible doesn't teach people to do that, right? So they're misconstruing what the Bible's teaching, and there's an issue in the Bible that Catholics misinterpret, which is that you have to do stuff. And the coolest thing about Jesus is that all other religions on earth, like everyone, says in order to get to God, you've got to act, do, get to Him by doing stuff. But Christianity says it's totally done. You don't have to do anything, and you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like imagine like a tribe of Indians, and the priest of the tribe sacrifices his son at the end of a war. He says, let's end the war with this other tribe, and I'll sacrifice my son as a peace offering. And then someone from the other tribe says, oh yeah, and I'll sacrifice my shoes.
Yeah.
And the guy would be like, that's stupid, man. You got these little shoes you're going to sacrifice, but I just killed my own son.
Yeah.
And so when you look at works, they're these little piddly things we're trying to add on to this son's death. And so that's just one of those twisted things that's not quite right. You can't add to what Jesus did because he did the most and the best thing. So your tattoos are Old Testament, Old Covenant sort of stuff.
Yeah, they say you go to hell if you have any type of...
No, and that's another... Yeah. I believe there's a lot of things that the Catholic Church messes up. That's just not in the Bible.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is the Bible's a book about God and what He's doing, and we get to be a part of it. And what He's doing is He's... Right, as everybody's doing wrong, they're just moving towards the abyss, and God is just by the handfuls getting people out and saving them. And you're right. If you die, all you've got is Jesus.
Yep.
You can't say, like, okay, he's hanging out with me, but don't forget to look at all the stuff I did, because that's the wrong idea. The only way you get in is because Jesus bled out on the cross for all the wrong things you've done. So, anyway, I appreciate you letting me. Do you got any questions, man?
No. Okay. You're doing good.
So. All right. This concludes the second interview on October the 3rd again?
Yep,
okay, 3rd.
October 3rd.
All right. Thank you and good night.